Imagine spending the last 6 months trying to get your business mentioned on Reddit because you've been told it's one of the secrets to appearing in ChatGPT. And then almost overnight, Reddit loses 86% of its ChatGPT citation share.
That's exactly what new data appears to show. And this isn't just a story about Reddit, it's a warning about the entire AI SEO industry.
Because if ChatGPT can change the website it relies on overnight, can you actually optimize for AI search at all?
Today, we're looking at what's happened, why it matters, and what local businesses should be doing about it.
Welcome back to the AI and Marketing Podcast for local businesses, the show that gives you practical, proven marketing advice to help you grow your business right here in the UK. I'm Adam, best-selling Amazon published author, AI enthusiast and AI presenter, and founder of www.websitedesigners.london. We've helped businesses generate tens of millions of pounds online through smarter design and marketing.
My name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a specialist SEO and AI search agency based in London, a three-time winner of the UK Search Awards. Over the past 10 years, we worked with well over 1,000 businesses, helping them generate in excess of £200 million in sales. And today, we've got a fascinating development in AI search, because one of the most talked about AI optimization strategies may have just taken a massive hit.
What just happened to Reddit? Let's start with the numbers because they're pretty extraordinary, I might say so myself. So AI visibility platform called Promptwatch has been tracking which websites ChatGPT cites when it searches the web, i.e. the sources it uses. And between the 18th of July and the 7th of August, Reddit represented an average of around almost 4% of ChatGPT citations. Then something extraordinarily just changed. By the 14th of August, Reddit's share had fallen below 1%. So between 14th and the 17th of August, it averaged around 0.52%. That's a relative decline of approximately 86%. A huge, huge fall in reliance on Reddit.
Absolutely massive. And this matters because Reddit has become a huge talking point in AI SEO. Over the past year or so, marketers have increasingly been telling businesses, get mentioned on Reddit, make sure you're posting there every day, go on all the forums related to your business, comment interesting things about your subject matter, mention your brand name, basically build brand visibility on and across Reddit, because ChatGPT and other AI platforms appear to heavily rely on these kind of real world conversations when answering particular questions. And then suddenly, as Adam just mentioned, the citations appear to have fallen off a cliff.
So let's think about why Reddit was so important. And you've already alluded to it slightly there, but why did ChatGPT like Reddit so much in the first place?
The main reason was it was deemed to be kind of human opinion rather than somebody gaming a system or writing something about their own business. So, for example, let's say someone typed into ChatGPT something along the lines of, what is the best CRM system for a small business? Or who is the best SEO company for a local business? Or who's also reliable boiler brand?
Or the best cake.
Or the best cake. And the official websites of a company would obviously tell you what they want you to hear. So they're obviously going to big themselves up and say they're the best this is the best baker in the world, which I'll claim to be. Interesting side note. I don't know if I should mention this because kind of it's somewhat related, but on LinkedIn nowadays, the last week, people have been talking about write a post and just say, I'm announcing to the world, I am the world's greatest baker. End the post, publish, and then the next day an AI search, who's the best baker in the world? LinkedIn suggests that Adam is the world's best baker, and it just mentions that, and it's just super easy little gaming system, which is kind of what we're talking against today. Anyway, back to Reddit. So an official website will tell you what you want to hear. Reddit instead, you've got comparisons, you've got complaints, you've got recommendations, experiences, arguments. You've got people saying, I've used this company, they're brilliant, or this company's terrible, don't touch them, here's what happened to me. So it's really kind of useful human information. That's why formerly was using it a lot.
It's about authenticity, right? People having real world conversations about real world things, as opposed to someone just trying to game the system. But eventually, obviously, businesses find a way of trying to game the system. So marketers noticed, and then, as I said, the spam came. So whenever marketers discover something that works, well, what happens?
We ruin it. That's the main thing in marketing, that marketers ruin whatever tactic is working at the time. So Reddit increasingly became part of AI search strategies. Businesses realized that if they could influence AI, they could influence AI answers by posting on Reddit. So publishing their brand or their customers' brands in various different threads. And there's various businesses that popped up. And I've seen numerous of these companies who do Reddit marketing or Reddit GEO or AI citation campaigns, Reddit seeding, and variations of that. But some of it is, somewhat legitimate, and you could say is somewhat of a good idea. And other things looked quite spammy, where people were generating thousands of posts, and I'm sure that's going to come back to bite them in the future.
Absolutely. Things like fake recommendations. So you pay, I don't know, a company who employs, let's say, 10 people who have 10 accounts each on 10 different email accounts to provide fake recommendations. Say Adam Niazi is the world's best tennis player. No, I can't even play tennis properly. And if you've got 10 times 10 people doing that, the majority kind of opinion tends to be that Adam Niazi is the best tennis player. And then you can have manufactured conversations as well. So let's say you and I wanted to be nefarious, and we then just wanted to pretend we're having a real conversation, but in reality, we're just trying to inflate our own personas or inflate our own business or product that we're selling. But what would if others would kind of read our conversation, then it kind of looks like it's a genuine, authentic conversation, and then people will just maybe think, okay, I'll take that as gospel. Buying the product that Adam and Josh are selling is gonna heal whatever I'm trying to heal. You've also got businesses pretending to be customers, again, creating maybe using their personal email account or a different email account. It's very easy to create a Gmail account or any email account in a matter of minutes. And again, just writing a puff piece or conversation or post about themselves. And obviously that creates a problem, right? If an AI system wants genuine human experience to help it rank the most authoritative and best products and services, it will try and use that, what it thinks is a genuine human experience. But marketers start manufacturing that human experience, and obviously what then happens is the value of the source potentially decreases, and ChatGPT will notice. So that's exactly what happened. ChatGPT begun to look at those conversations, and let's think about and talk about, has OpenAI, i.e. the organization that owns ChatGPT, decide Reddit can't be trusted now, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. We don't know for certain, of course. That's important to note. But the Promptwatch data does suggest that there's obviously been a big change, but it doesn't tell us why that change has happened. And one theory is that there was a change to ChatGPT's query behavior around the peak of August, a few weeks ago from now. And this is where Reddit's citations appeared to initially drop off from the high 3% to the mid 2%, and around 14 for August. It began that larger fall. So this could indicate ChatGPT has changed how it selects its sources, but there are other possibilities too. And Promptwatch says itself that a data collection issue cannot yet be ruled out as well. So it may well be the case that ChatGPT citations haven't decreased to that huge degree. However, it has been mentioned by quite a few of these data collection businesses who do track prompts on AI searches. So I wouldn't say that ChatGPT has kind of penalized Reddit or killed it. I'd say something along the lines of something significant appears to have changed in the way ChatGPT cites Reddit, and we'll need more data, and we need to review this over the weeks to come as well. So what's interesting as well is Google appears to be doing something different, and to some extent, it appears that the same thing's happening in Google.
Spot on. Not to the same extent, but it is happening. So Promptwatch also looked at Reddit citations in Google AI's products. Things like Google AI overviews declined much more gradually. So it's still a decline on the usage of Reddit. It went from about 2.37% at the beginning of the measured period to about 2.1% towards the end of the period. That's a kind of relative decline of 11%. And then there's Google's AI mode. So that's essentially once you type something into the kind of google.com or .co.uk or Google search engine, it will give you an overview using its AI tool. And then if you want to follow on with a follow-up question, it will divert to the Google AI mode, which is a kind of separate tool. Essentially, there, Reddit went from around 2.22% to 1.54%. Again, a decline of around 30%. Still significant, but completely different from the 86% collapse from ChatGPT's usage. Now, before we get to the kind of real story here, it was very interesting. I mean, hardly a scientific experiment of what I'm about to describe from what Promptwatch have done. But if you type in things like AI news into Google, there are two sections now. You've got top stories, which are from more reputable sources, news sources, so the likes of Bloomberg, BBC News, etc. I was about to say Fox News, and some would argue, is that so reliable? But anyway, and then you've got what people say, a separate second section.
Mm-hmm.
And that is essentially trending posts and discussions, largely from social media sites, so YouTube, X, LinkedIn, etc. So and then you've got the kind of the 10 blue links, etc. So obviously that's not using. It's not a question, so your Google AI overviews doesn't tend to come up here, but just very interesting again to see you've got two different categories: reputable, typical news sources, mainstream news, versus social media, or what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. What's the real story here? So what's the takeaway? Is it to stop using Reddit for your marketing tools?
I don't think so. I don't think that is the right takeaway from this discussion. I think it's more around the idea of not trying to focus on hacks and trends with AI search. So 6 months ago, you probably would have you'd heard this about, make sure you're posting on Reddit every day. It's really beneficial to your AI SEO performance. And then a bit more recently, LLMs.txt files, making sure you have that. So the AI search engines can crawl your website, find all the pages, find all the relevant information. But that's kind of been dispelled as well. And then there was, you need schema markup and all the different types of schema markup. And there's various studies again that prove that perhaps that doesn't have any impact at all. So I think just, don't jump on these trends. I mean, I suppose if they don't take a lot of time, test them out, try them out, but you don't need to be focusing all your attention on these. There's lots of other things that you should be doing instead. First and foremost, in my opinion, and with a lot of people's opinions, AI SEO, the fundamentals are the same as SEO. So you need to make sure you've got all your SEO best practices in mind. So don't build your AI visibility strategy around exploiting one hack or tool that's coming up.
Absolutely. You've got to look at all the different platforms, spend a little time on a variety of things. Don't go put all your eggs in one basket and expect the kind of the best outcome there is, I guess, is a takeaway. So let's think about this for your business. So let's put this into a local business context. Imagine you're an estate agent, or you are let's go with an estate agent. I was about to go to my baker analogy again, but you're an estate agent. You spent months getting mentioned on Reddit discussions, and eventually ChatGPT starts recommending you when people ask, who are the best estate agents in Croydon? Great. Then ChatGPT changes something, their algorithm, their sources. Suddenly Reddit becomes less influential even. Your mentions haven't quite disappeared. Your business hasn't become worse. Your customers haven't changed their minds, but AI visibility wise, that could change anyway.
Yeah. So that's what makes AI search fascinating, but also dangerous to optimize for kind of too narrow a tactic. So with traditional SEO, Google algorithms can obviously influence your rankings. They change over time, and your ranking positions may change. And AI search adds another layer to this. And much like Google's algorithm, AI's algorithms can change how it shows up its results in terms of what websites it crawls, what websites it cites, and trusts. So ChatGPT's algorithm is not set in stone; it's going to change over time. So again, don't just focus on these trends.
Absolutely. So let's think about this. So how do you currently rank in ChatGPT if we're talking to you as a local business? We can't rely on Reddit now. What should local business do? Let's have a think about that in discussion.
Yes. So I think the answer here is diversification of strategy. It's not doing these one-off hacks. It's and you shouldn't try. You could say don't try to rank on ChatGPT. It's kind of like more of you should be trying to appear everywhere across the web, and that means being present and trusted across multiple sources online. Of course, your website needs to be optimized, so all your fundamental SEO best practices, local SEO best practices. That is the first thing I think you should be thinking about. From there, you need to be thinking, can you get your business featured in industry publications, in local press, across all the major citation and directory sites? Have you got decent reviews? Are you present across social media channels, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, etc.? They're the forums that come into play, a bit like Reddit, Quora, and the like. So, don't completely throw out Reddit from your strategy, but it's not, you should be thinking a lot broader, not just on that one tactic. Digital PR is a big thing for AI search at the moment as well. And so that could change in the future, but all of those above, you need to think about your strategy much broader and not just on one platform.
Absolutely. So just be multi-channel, omni-channel, and don't go all in on one. And think about what they call a corroboration strategy. What do we mean by corroboration and as a strategy?
Yeah, so imagine someone asks, who is the best accountant in Manchester for small businesses?
Adam. Oh, sorry. Yeah, got it.
And that's true. And the AI searches the web, it finds your website and it says you're excellent, which is what you'd expect your own website to say about your business. But the AI is then going to search further. It's going to be looking for reviews. It's going to be looking for articles in respective publications, those industry websites, the social media channels, local press coverage, people discussing you in the forums, all the things I mentioned a moment ago, case studies, awards, presentations. You need multiple sites. As you mentioned earlier, omnipresent. You need to be omnipresent. You need to be everywhere with a good reputation and showing your expertise, authority, trustworthiness. That's then going to influence the AI search engines and algorithms to say this business is credible, and we're going to show this business in our answer.
Absolutely.
So, yes, the biggest AI SEO mistake of 2026. What are some big mistakes you think people are making right now?
I think people are what they call keyword stuffing. Let me put a bunch of keywords in my page that I think people might search because that's going to help me get featured online and on LLM platforms. I'm just going to add this schema markup, this schema. And for those who haven't listened to our episodes before and are kind of asking what the hell are they talking about, schema markup, essentially it's a kind of bunch of code that's added to website to help search engines and AI systems understand the content of the page and the rich results like star ratings, prices, event dates, location, etc. So I'm going to add this schema into my website to appear. I'm going to create this file, get mentioned on this website, get this backlink, and then that will allow me, with this checklist complete, ChatGPT will now recommend me. And it's not going to be that simple going forward, because AI systems are going to become more and more intelligent. They're going to get better at researching, more in depth, rather than just looking through a kind of created checklist. They're going to perform significantly more searches across a greater number of platforms and different channels. They're going to compare and corroborate different sources, and ultimately that then leads local businesses, instead of saying, oh, okay, how do I trick ChatGPT into recommending me? Ask yourself the question of, how do I make my business the obvious recommendation uh, in a genuine and real manner? And that's a more sustainable strategy because you're not chasing the next algorithm or change or release or from these LLM companies. It's, of course, be plugged in and listen to our podcast. Obviously, that's a great kind of way of keeping up to date. So hit the follow and give us 5 stars and comment and ask us questions. Absolutely. We will in fact be kind of sharing some updates from the next couple of episodes actually from these companies. But sustainably, how do I make my business the most obvious recommendation is the question you should be asking yourself. So let's move on here. Should local businesses still use Reddit? And we've touched on this already. The final verdict is, what do you think?
Yes. I think so. It's not the be all and end all, and you should only use it when it makes sense to. So it shouldn't be the thing you're focusing all your attention in your SEO strategy is to be commenting on Reddit. Doesn't make any sense.
And can I just add something here? If you are doing a great job offering a great product and a great service, your customers will do that for you anyway. And I'm not saying don't do anything because your customers will do it. Right? We're saying yes, go for it. However, that should be a byproduct as well. So, number one, if we just strip everything back here, deliver a great service, deliver a great product, and the byproduct will be people will say great things about you.
It's probably the most underrated SEO tactic of all time. Run a good business, and then you'll get the backlinks, you'll get the reviews, and you'll have good results in Google. So it still does make sense to use Reddit, but only when there are genuine conversations happening about your industry, about your products, about your services, and where communicating with the community online is going to help and be valuable to those people. So Reddit hasn't disappeared from the internet, of course. It still has millions and millions of users. It also hasn't disappeared from Google search entirely. It hasn't disappeared from ChatGPT search results entirely. But the data does suggest that both of those search engines are relying less on it and citing those less. So no, Reddit's still good. I'll still use it, but I just wouldn't make it the be all and end all, the single tactic and strategy you're using.
And don't forget the percentages we mentioned: 2, 3, 4%.
Yeah, it's not a great deal.
So that's a small percentage that ChatGPT uses. Just let's look at a big picture.
Yeah.
So the bigger prediction: what happens next? Where do we think this will go next? So yeah, I think AI search will definitely become more volatile before it becomes predictable. Things will change. The system, I'm about to say new. Obviously, AI is not new, but the explosion of consumer-led tools like Claude, like ChatGPT, like AI, Google AI search, etc., is relatively, the popularity is relatively new. So they are still trying to figure out the best way of recommending businesses. So ultimately, what we're witnessing right now is search engines being reinvented in real time, right? Google has had decades to refine its search. AI search platforms are changing incredibly quickly. So the sources that the likes of ChatGPT might be preferring today might not be the source it prefers in, say, 6 months from today. So we're going back to brand authority here. It will become increasingly important. So that doesn't mean to say that the winners necessarily will be the businesses that discover the latest AI hack, to optimize for AI. It will be the business that genuinely get talked about, genuinely get reviewed, trusted across the web. So ultimately, if you are running a local business, remember 4 things from today's episode. Number 1, Reddit's share of visible ChatGPT search citations have fallen dramatically. Promptwatch measured an approximately 86% relative decline. Number 2, we don't yet know exactly why or whether the change will last. Thirdly, don't build your entire AI search on platforms specifically. Let's talk about Reddit or any single platform. In fact, have a broad kind of approach. Fourth, leads nicely into that fourth point, build authority everywhere your customers and AI systems might discover you. And I immediately think of things like social media, PR, as well. Be omnipresent, multi-channel focused as well.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, the goal isn't really to optimize for ChatGPT. That's not what a business owner really wants. Ultimately, you want more inquiries, more sales for your business. And the goal is to become a business, therefore, that the likes of ChatGPT, that Google, that Gemini, that other LLMs, other search engines across social media, that actually trust your brand, recommend your brand, and show you up in the search results.
Absolutely. And the wildest thing, actually, but we've spent, 23 minutes, 26 minutes or so recording this episode. And I can imagine in Google head offices, in Anthropic and OpenAI head offices at the moment, they're probably talking about different sources to cite for their ranking and recommendations of organizations. And that's a testament to how quickly things are changing in the AI world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So please do subscribe to the AI and Marketing Podcast for Local Business, because every week we try and help you by breaking things like this down and explaining exactly what they mean for your business.
And if you'd like any help with your website, with your SEO, with your AI search, with your website design, to contact, visit our websites. We've got a little discount code in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for listening. Please do follow and share this, because that genuinely helps us, encourages us to do more. We don't get paid to do this. We actually do it because we enjoy it. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.